And
Good morning.
Good. How about you?
I'm doing really good, really good. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's Wednesday, halfway through the week, so that's always a good thing. I'm pulling up now our Kellyco page so I could get the comments and everything up here so that if we have any questions, we know what to answer. But let's start by, how about you guys introduce yourselves for those who don't know who you are.
Okay. My name is Pete Sorrell. I'm the founder and co-owner of Digstock Events. I've been detecting for about a little over 10 years. I use an XP Deus. I'm on XP Team USA. I don't know what else to tell you about myself. I'm in upstate New York. That's about it for right now, I guess.
All right. And Matt, how about you?
My name is Matt Jones. I'm also co-owner of Digstock and outreach coordinator. I've been relic hunting for roughly 30 years.
Oh,
I use a variety of metal detectors, XP, Notes, and Garrett. I don't really have a preferred choice. Civil War is my preferred go-to, but I also like Colonial. I'm out of North Carolina, and it's a lot better here than it is 28 degrees in upstate New York.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that cold up there. We're still in the 90s down here.
Well, let's see. It's probably not that cold today, but certainly Matt and I went metal detecting this weekend with one of the other members of our crew. And it was probably mid-30s when we got out there.
Wow, that's really cold. I've only detected in those conditions one time in Virginia, and there was snow bouncing off my coil and ice coming off the ground. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not used to this.
That's a normal occurrence here. We go until we can't go anymore.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I know there's a lot of people out there who know who you guys are and know about Digstock, but for those watching that don't know, do you want to tell us a little bit about it, Pete?
Yeah, sure. So Matt and I started Digstock kind of as a project to get people out doing these metal detecting events. So a lot of folks have never been to one, so we wanted to create an experience for everybody, not just detectives. So our logo, or not our logo, our motto is Digstock, for all the hobbies you dig. And that basically means, we have bottle digging, magnet fishing, we have metal detecting at our events. So hopefully that'll be one big difference you see with us. You don't have to just come and do metal detecting. You can actually enjoy all of those hobbies. So our first event was supposed to be fall 2020, but obviously it got canceled due to COVID. But we made the best of it, and we're moving forward with 2021, and we've got some really great events lined up.
So I know that you have a website that people could go to and kind of learn about Digstock and what it is. And you were going to share that website and show everybody what it is. But before you do that, Matt, do you have anything to add about Digstock?
Yeah, so we have a lot of things planned. We started, originally we were going to do one large hunt. Since the COVID thing seemed to happen, and we know people are stuck in the house and they want to get out and dig, we're trying to cater more to people that want to get out of the house and have something to do. So we're going to try to hold one big hunt biannually and then hold two smaller hunts in between to give people something to do kind of year round.
That's awesome. That's one of my favorite things to do is go travel to different areas, meet new people, go to these events. And sometimes most of the time for me, it's not about what I'm finding. It's about the people that you're meeting. Sure. And sometimes you only get to see them a couple times a year at these events. So I love these events, and what you guys are doing is totally awesome. Bringing together the community.
That's one of the things that we really enjoyed too. I mean, the same thing as you said. We go to a lot of these things. I've been to countless hunts, but it's not about finding gold and silver every time you go out, because as everybody knows, as a treasure hunter, metal detector, as not every time is a success. You may go out for hours and hours and come home with a few pennies in a bottle cap.
Yep.
But Honestly, if you go out with friends, spend time with them, that's what I think is most important about this. So we're hoping the folks that go to our events obviously get on some awesome relics. But I think the biggest part for us is the learning, to get to see everybody, meet new folks. We try to incorporate some folks who are really well known in the hobby to our events, so people can meet some of their Facebook heroes or their YouTube heroes or whatever you want to call them. And most people are just like us, down to earth, great folks that just enjoy the hobby. So that's why we did it. We basically wanted everybody to get out there and enjoy the hobby together.
And like you said, the prizes are just bonus.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to go ahead and pull up the site and kind of show us what that's all about, Pete?
Yeah, sure. So our first event is going to be this March 5th through 7th, 2021. It's going to be near Greenville, North Carolina. And I'm going to show you our website right now. So anybody can go here. The address is www.digstockevents.com. And we wanted to make this process as easy as possible. So folks, when they go there, can see everything that they need, basically. We've been to a lot of hunts where you don't really know what you're getting into. You just know where it is and you show up at the hotel and hope everything works out. But we wanted to do something a little bit more user-friendly. So we created this website, and you can go to each of our events. So Digstock 2021 is our big event next fall. And this is the one that's coming up in March. So you can actually go to the Digstock mini headline. You can click on the different headings. You can read information about the property, which gives like a basic history of the area, some of the things that might be possible on our site. You can actually buy your ticket right here. All you have to do is click on the little ticket. It'll bring you to a site or bring you to our ticket vendor, and basically pick how many tickets you want and then come back to this page. And our liability waiver is right on the screen. All you do is you read through it, you fill out the little information box at the bottom, click submit, and then you're pre-registered for our hunt.
Okay.
So when you get there, we have a list of everybody that's pre-registered, and what you do is you just give us your name, easy check-in. So we have a refund policy on the bottom. Then you can also buy your gear for the event. We're selling t-shirts, special edition t-shirts for the event. We're asking folks to buy those before the event. When you buy your tickets, it's best to buy your t-shirt then, because we want to make sure we get the order in and don't order too many. So we also have a list of our sponsors. XP Team USA, Knock to Macro so far are our big metal detecting sponsors. They'll be on site giving away cool prizes and tricks. XP Team USA said they'll be wandering the field, roving, maybe giving out prizes and stuff. And then
Sorry to interrupt you for a second, Pete. Can you try turning your volume down just a little bit? We're getting a little bit of feedback. Everybody's hearing some feedback from you.
How about that? Is that better?
We still hear it a little bit.
Let's see here. How about now?
That sounds better.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. All right. So this is our site. This is so these are our vendors. That's our barbecue vendor who's going to be there on Sunday. We have how to get there. So a lot of folks want to know how to get there. These are the easiest ways to get there. So we do this for all of our events. Any event that we put on, we will provide this setup for every event. And so how to get here, where to stay, We give a list of all the local hotels, options if there are any. And then we have where to eat. So I know a lot of folks get there and they're like, I don't know any of the local places. So we asked our local resident expert, Matt here, who lives in the area, to give us a list of a couple of places that are pretty decent. And so we put those on there along with the chains and the local fast food places. So we just wanted to make our website kind of an all-inclusive thing where in one place you can find all the information you need to get to the hunt and enjoy it once you get there. So, that's what our goal was with this website, and kind of getting folks interested in what we do. And like I said, every event that we do, we're going to make this available. So we're going to do this for each hunt. Everyone we do is going to have the same thing. So each year when we have a different dig stock mini, all that information and stuff will change to the specific hunt.
Well, I do want to tell you, this is a pretty impressive website. I mean, you guys have really thought everything out, and everything's on here. It makes it very easy going to the hunt to know what you're going to have around you, where to stay, everything. I really like your website.
Thank you.
We do have a question, which I know the answer to, but I'll let you go ahead and answer it, which is, are there different locations for the different events, or is it the same location, just different times of the year?
So every year we're going to try and do a different location. We've been to hunts in England, or I've been to hunts in England that have been on the same location for year after year. The problem is, especially there, when you hold a hunt on the same location for 5 years, even though there's thousands of years of history there, eventually, as you know, sites dry up. So we are going to try and hold our events on different sites every year. So this year, our big hunt in fall of next year is going to be near Plattsburgh, New York. It's upstate New York. We've got a couple thousand acres on some historic property. There was an event on there last year, which was Pound the Ground, which I was a part of. But we've got a bunch more fields in that same area that hold a lot of history. So, but our goal is every year to hold an event on a new property. So like this Dig Stock Mini, there won't be another event on that particular site going forward. So this will be the only one. Matt can tell you a little bit more about the property. He's the one that secured it for us.
Okay.
He did a great job. So I'll let you take over. I'm going to stop this sharing here. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so the property that we have in North Carolina, it has, I can't say that it's never been hunted because, you know, people do sneak on the property.
Right.
I do know that according to the landowner, many have asked and many have been denied. There are at least two 1740 plantation sites on the property. There are 4 late 1600 foundations on the river.
Okay.
There's access to the river on both properties. We have 3 parcels of property, which equal right around 2,240 acres. There's over 44, 45 home sites that range from 1890 to like 1905. They were gone in 1910. They're not on a 1910 map. So the aluminum should be at a minimum. There is a very large Indian village on the site. When we did our pre-testing of it, there was hundreds of Indian artifacts laid across the field. So that'll give people, we're trying to give people a wide range of things to dig. So, you know, you can detect, you can magnet fish if you want. There's multiple bottle dumps on the site. You can look Indian artifacts if you like. You know, we try to do it all. And one of the things that I think is going to help us on this one is, so I'm creating a map for everybody. So every house site that I've been able to find, either on foot or on a map, will be printed on a map with a date and a name, and it will be handed to each participant. So there's no guesswork when you get there. There's no cramming research at the hotel the night before trying to figure out where you're going to go. It's all going to be handed to you. So all you got to do is come and register, get your machine, and go hunt it.
Wow, that sounds pretty impressive. I mean, I'm interested in the bottle dumps. That's my favorite thing to do. But I mean, there's so much history on this property. Now, is it limited participation?
Yeah, so we're limiting this one to 275 guests.
Okay.
We want We could fit more on the property because it's over 2,000 acres, but we want people to find more. We don't want to put a whole lot of people and give people like an acre a person. We want people to have free range and have the opportunity to find more relics for each person.
Okay. That sounds great. Now, how's the weather up there around that time of year? I mean, is it rainy, anything like that? I mean, you live there, kind of give an idea.
So it is North Carolina. It's hit or miss. It could be snowing or it could be 80 degrees. Normally in the beginning of March, typically it's around 40, 50 degrees, but
Nice.
we have been known to get some of our biggest snows in March. So.
Okay. And we have a question from Greg. He wants to know what the cost of the event is.
Okay, yep. So that's going to be $225 for the entire weekend. So that gets you our meet and greet on Friday, which isn't really, a huge thing. We might have to move that to the morning of the hunt. And then you have Saturday and Sunday to hunt. It's $225. That includes, we're giving everybody, when you walk up to the door, basically, or walk up to register, everybody's going to get 3 free raffle tickets. And then it also includes a barbecue lunch on Sunday. So we've got a really great barbecue caterer that's coming in. So for your $225, you get the whole weekend to basically hunt and do and explore the property in any way you choose. So like Matt said, you can do all the things that you want to do. If you're not, digging the detecting, so to speak, you could go check out some Indian artifacts, do some bottle dump digging, magnet fishing, whatever you want to do. So, I mean, that's like I said, we try to do something where everybody will have something to do. So we think the price is very well competitive with other hunts you go on of this caliber. And I think everybody that shows up is going to have a great time.
Now, is this 100% seeded? I mean, natural, or is there any seeded? Or
100% natural. This one is all natural.
That's awesome.
Yep. So we do our big hunt in the fall is going to be, it does have a huge seeded hunt, and we're actually throwing around ideas right now to make that more special. So we also have a Facebook page. It's called, it's just Digstock Events, or at digstock.events if you're looking for it. And we're going to post up all the information about the hunts up on there as well. So anything that's relevant to the hunts, you will be able to see right up there. We do keep kind of some stuff a little bit secret until you buy a ticket, especially for this mini hunt. So if you buy a ticket to our mini hunt, we actually add you to a private Facebook group where we'll share information like the maps and, carpool information and different things that we don't put on the public page. So, and that helps everybody who's going to the hunt in the loop, and everybody's together and everybody understands what's going on. But like I said, our big hunt will have a seeded hunt, a huge one. We're looking to put coins, relics, prize tokens, all kinds of great things out there. So that one's more of a big extravaganza. We have a huge big top tent, relic vendors. You guys, Kellyco is going to be there as our exclusive metal detecting sales folks. And that one's a big spectacle. If you've never seen anything, I'm sure you've never seen anything like it before, for sure.
Well, I do have a question. This is a pretty important one, and I know you'll definitely want to address this. When the event is over, will we be able to return to check spots we couldn't make it to?
Matt, I'll have to ask you that one.
Okay, so the landowner has asked that once the hunt is over with, that nobody is allowed back on the property. Once the hunt is over with, everybody will have to go home and go, back to where they came from. Now, if they choose to come back to that part of North Carolina at a later date and ask their own permissions, that is fine. But if you go to this landowner, he will tell you no.
I mean, that's kind of what everybody does when they set up a big hunt like this. You can't just go back afterwards. So I thought that's what you were going to say, but I wanted to make sure. I mean, because there are liability waivers that you sign and a bunch of different things. So you don't want somebody to go there, get hurt, and it come back on you guys.
Right. And see, and that's one thing. I mean, we try to make the hunts, obviously, this small one is a 2-day hunt, but our 2021 big event next fall, we actually, it was only supposed to be 2 days, but we extended it a day because it's actually Columbus Day weekend. So some folks, some states have that day off. So we said, listen, if people want to stay an extra day, come on out, then, we'll probably, all the festivities and stuff are mostly going to be Saturday and Sunday. But if you just want to go out there and hit the places that, I suspect a lot of people will stay most, just Saturday and Sunday. And then most folks will travel on their way home on Monday. But we also added that extra day just in case you wanted to stay and kind of check it out. And so even like our seated field and stuff, if nobody, if you didn't get find the stuff that you wanted to, there may be still things out there, after those first 2 initial days to find. So we're kind of trying to make it, like I said, we're going to do this big event biannually, and then these small ones probably at least one small one every year, probably 2.
As far as the third day being on the Columbus Day, I found when I go to these events, sometimes when there's that day where most people are leaving, some of the best finds come that last day.
They
when cars
do.
are parked,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They do. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why we did that. We knew that folks, a lot of people traveled a long ways last time. I know you guys came up. It was a long trip.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of, we wanted to make sure that people had the best experience. We made that one affordable. The price for that one is $145 for the entire weekend. It gets you all the 3 days. It gets you access to our huge seated hunt, and basically anywhere on the property. Same thing. We're not going to make a private Facebook group for that one. Most of the information for that hunt will be public.
Okay.
Just because it's easier. With 1,000 people, it's a little bit harder to get everybody onto a Facebook group.
Absolutely.
But we're going to do our best to provide all the information we can. We do have a really big venue for our meet and greet on that Friday night for that big event in New York this fall. And it's got room for plenty of people, more people than we're going to fill it up with for sure. And then we're hoping to have food and beer vendors there on site as well as on site at the event.
Okay.
So it's going to be, 2021 is looking pretty good. So we're pretty excited about it.
You got me really excited.
I do want to add, so the pre-hunt meeting for the small hunt. So as of right now, in North Carolina, we are allowed to hold any kind of outdoor event that we wish.
Okay.
We can have 50 people, we can have 1,000 people. That is 100% open. However, inside events are still at a minimum. So where our pre-hunt meeting is going to be, it'll be in a college. And because it's in a college, they cannot give us a date of confirmation until the first of the year. So if that does fall through, we will move our pre-hunt meeting to the morning of the hunt. So we'll do everything that we were going to do the morning of the hunt, go over the rules, have raffles, stuff people can buy. We'll just move it all to the very next day.
I think sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say another thing that we're going to do, but we do at both hunts. So the big hunt, we do donate some money, some of the proceeds to the Wounded Warrior Foundation.
That's awesome.
And for our small hunt, we're going to be donating some money to a organization called Genesis Pursuit. They are a company that takes handicapped kids and kids on hunting trips, to where they can deer hunt or turkey hunt or whatever they, wish to do. It's a really good organization. And so we're trying to help those guys out as well. And I just want to throw their name out there for you.
That's awesome. I really like when people put on a hunt and part of the money that's made goes to an organization. It's kind of like what we're all about in this hobby, helping others. Sure. So that's really awesome that you guys are doing that with your events.
Yeah, we like I said, we want everybody to be included too. I mean, that's just, I've always felt like some hunts you go to, they're very exclusive, and we never wanted to be exclusive. We wanted to be more inclusive than exclusive. So we like for our large hunt, we have a veterans discount, which they can go right to our website. The information is on there. All they have to do is send me their information. That's for our big hunt. For our small hunt, we're not doing a veteran discount, but we are doing a special raffle. And we've been talking about some of the things that we're going to do for veterans that come to the event. So we'll actually have like a special veterans only raffle. If you show up and
Okay.
you're a veteran, you kind of get one extra ticket to something really special. So once you get there, but we really appreciate their service, you know, and a lot of these guys, I'm part of a group called Grunt Diggers on Facebook, which is all former military metal detectorists. They're a great group of guys, put on by a friend of mine, who started the group. And so a lot of these guys use metal detecting to help with PTSD, and they use it to get together in groups. And we really appreciate what they've done for the country. So we really want to give back to them in some way. So that's another thing that we do that's a little bit, I'm sure other hunts do this, but we really emphasize that. So
That's awesome. Well, I'm really excited about it. And I was going to follow up with what you had said, Matt, about, you know, it's kind of on hold with the meet and greet because, you know, what's going on in the world right now. That's the same thing with my hunt that I'm putting on. It was supposed to take place in April 2020. We've been trying for months to even get a new date, but the Park and Recreation will not even let us book a date until 2021 yet. So I think a lot of people are understanding with, you know, there could be some changes because, I mean, there is a pandemic going on out there. So
yeah, we've actually talked about that too. So, you know, based on what the state's restrictions are, or whatever, the hunt will be held either way. So what we said is, if you want to wear a mask and you're comfortable wearing a mask, great. We're not going to chastise you if you don't. That's your decision. We're not going to push you either way. So that's we want to be open to anybody that's willing to come. If you want to come, you want to wear a mask when you're around everybody, go for it. I think metal detecting is the best socially distanced activity you can do.
absolutely.
You know, when everybody finds it fine, just hold out your hand. You know, you're about 3.5 feet. You know, all right. You know, so you know you should be fine. But you know, like I said, everybody is ready to do something fun. And we're hoping we're one of the first events you get to go out and do something fun. We really hope everybody has a good time. We've got folks, I can tell you right now, we are down to 215 tickets left. That's all we've got left. We have people from Michigan, Texas, California. I'm trying to think of the other places that I've already got folks coming in from. So we've got a lot of people from across the country that really just want to get out and do some digging. So.
That's awesome. I got another question here from Kelly. She wants to know, have you found a bottle dump on the site? I know you mentioned this earlier.
Yep, there are two. One of them, they will be located on the map that we're going to give you. One of them had early 1900s Pepsi bottles in it. I don't know. Some people don't know what a straight-sided Pepsi is. So before they had the paper labels or the painted labels on bottles, all bottles were embossed. So these are between 1900 and 1905 Pepsi and Coke bottles. There were about a half a dozen floating in there. So I know that there's a bottle done other coming out of the bank somewhere. And yes, you will be allowed to dig in the bank. All that has been cleared with the landowner. You can literally do whatever you want as long as you don't bring like an excavator in and dig a giant hole with an excavator. The other one is located on the back of the property by the river. And there could be more. You know, it was 2,000 acres and just me and a friend tested it. So there could be, you know, a lot more. But that one has a lot of black glass in it. So I'm assuming that it could be a colonial trash pit.
Okay.
I have not dug into it and tested it, but just based on what I saw on the surface, I think that's going to be a pretty good one.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say with the amount of houses and other things on the site, there's got to be more than 2 bottle dumps. So I mean,
I mean,
for sure.
If somebody's good with a probe, you know, there's 45 plus home sites on the property, and each of those homes had to have a privy.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's good with a bottle probe, you know, there's no telling how many bottles could potentially come off that property.
Yeah, and how many? I mean, when we tested it, we didn't have a whole lot of time. When we got the permission to do this, to test it, to get the permission, the guy's like, "Would you have one day, Matt?" And he said,
"Yeah, one day."
Wing it.
Wow.
You know, and we had to decide in that one day if it was worth it. And we won't reveal anything that we found there, but I can tell you it's going to be worth it.
That's amazing. Well, I do
It
know
definitely
Mark
will.
has put the link to your Dig Stock event in the comments here on
Awesome.
Facebook, on the Facebook comments as well for you. So people could go right to the site.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, anything else you guys want to cover? It's about time to wrap this up.
I think we're all set. I think we covered
Yeah, I
just
think we're
about
good.
everything, Matt.
I'm
Yeah, I
really
think we're
excited
good.
about it, and I'm sure you guys will be getting some more signups because it sounds like it's going to be an amazing event, that there's a lot of thought that has been put into it, very well organized. So I think it's going to be a great event.
Well, thank you very much for having us on, Caroline. We appreciate it. We appreciate
No
all
I
that
appreciate it.
Kellyco does for the hobby. You guys have been around a long time, and we appreciate what you guys do.
Well, thank you so much. Well, you guys have a great Wednesday, and if you guys need anything, just let me know. Until next week, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's see here.